Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share with you my journey towards data science. Hello everyone, my name is Idalia, like everybody calls me Nursey. I'm a nurse by background, like a kind of a Florence Nightingale of the 21st century. I love data science, finance, technology, and I'm here to share with you today the first project that I've done during my data science bootcamp, so you can see what it's possible to achieve within a month's time of your data bootcamp. So I hope you enjoy it and it's useful for you. So what we did as a first project was to look at the US Geological Survey data, which is data about earthquakes that happen within the world from a specific time frame. So we looked at the ones that occur between the 23rd of December 2022 to the 23rd of January 2023. So let's move on. So as you can see here, what my approach is always like kind of look at the framework that is useful for you. So find a framework and follow the framework, will be much easier. I don't have the book here, but I follow the approach of one of the books, and I just go step by step to make it easier. I think if you had a research background like I did, if you follow a research type of kind of background that you have and you follow the same approach, more or less you have to get the same results with some specific areas that you have to add on because you're looking specifically at data. But my approach was like, what is the problem that I have here? What am I trying to achieve? What is the big picture that I have here? And then second, look at the data. Okay, what data do I have? What does it mean? And how can I use it to try and follow the problem? Do I have what it takes within this data to achieve the goals that I'm trying to achieve? Yes or no? Then you look at the data, you get the data, you prepare the data for the type of problem that you have, and also specifically for the aims that you have, right? The result that you want to achieve. And then you explore the data, get the insights, and then tell the story to others like I'm doing to you. So then you kind of look at the data, you explore the data, the variable definitions. I actually use ChatGPT to try and ask them relevant questions about the area because I'm not a geologist by background, and to be honest, I don't want to be. It's not my favorite area. But you might be a geologist and you want to know how the data science can actually be useful to try and predict these types of and do a prediction model to try and predict earthquakes, and that can be so useful, so important. It can save millions of lives, right? So if you're a geologist, if you like this field, if you're trying to understand more about what is data science, what can you achieve with it, here it goes. So then I ask ChatGPT for relevant questions and see, can he give me more insights that I don't have that can be useful for me to understand. It's kind of having, a business analyst that is trying to ask you a question and find useful information, and now you're asking questions, right? But obviously I don't have an expert here, so I asked ChatGPT, and it could be a very useful thing that you could do to boost your productivity and understand a little bit more about the area that the data set, the relevant data set that you're trying to look at. And then you explore and you clean the data. So I'm going to show you exactly kind of the key definitions that I looked at. So I try to understand what is the definition, what's their importance, and make sure that, when you ask ChatGPT, that actually that's the same definition that the data has, because it might not be. So just make sure that you be careful in the way that you define things and look at the data set kind of definitions instead of going to kind of ChatGPT. But I asked what's the importance relevant to the earthquakes. So this is what I've done. I mean, you can't see it here because this is very small, but if you are interested, you can, I share the link below here, so you can go into my GitHub, you can download my presentation, you can download my, my code as well, so you can look at, how can you improve it from there. Obviously, this is a beginner's project, so it's nothing really special, but it might be useful for you to start or get a starting point to look at. And there is more online, so if you go to Kaggle, you can actually have a look at other people's insights, and I actually have mine there as well. And you can also add yours once you've done your project. I think it's a useful way of learning with others, but also others learning with you. So we looked at the data set, and we had about 10,000 entries with some missing data and different data types. I didn't remove the data. I didn't remove the missing data. I actually treated the data, I think was with medium or mean. I don't remember now, but have a look and see what I've done. Then let's go into the insights. So I could see that Alaska Peninsula was where the most earthquakes occur over the last 30 days. I actually didn't know that Alaska was a high prevalence area of earthquakes. So actually this was something new that I've learned today. So the goal of this kind of assignment was to do different charts, so bar chart, pie chart, plot chart, line chart, and scatter plot. That's why you have all those names below. It was nothing else. It was not doing any model or AI or machine learning. So you can see that majority of the earthquakes were micro earthquakes, so less than 2.5 in scale of magnitude, and those are not felt by us humans. But I also learned something new. I didn't know that there are earthquakes with negative magnitudes, but actually they are rare. I don't know why and what do they mean exactly, but yeah, if you're a geologist, please, share with me your insights and why is that? Why does that occur? And then almost no significant earthquakes above 6, which was good. Then we looked at the pie chart of the networks, and I found that AK reported 28% of the earthquakes, followed by NC. I think this is because, Alaska has the highest prevalence, so it makes sense that the network close by, kind of reports more earthquakes. So we had several characteristics present in outliers. So I was wondering if this is because it's a rare phenomenon, but obviously there's hard earthquakes with higher magnitudes, and perhaps those ones have higher depths. Maybe that's why. But I thought it was interesting that actually those that have higher depths are actually outliers. And I think it makes sense from the data that we collected. And then we found out that earthquakes actually occurred daily. I think it was interesting. I never thought that we had about 250 to 500 earthquakes a day. I never thought that was what happens, but it does. We found some outlier in the data, which was on the 12th of January, where there was almost no earthquakes reported, which I thought it was interesting. And perhaps there was a failure in the network. I don't know. But also maybe because, I don't know, but another thing that I wanted to point out about this chart is that actually this chart is not a good chart, because as you can see I have days 0 to 30, but our data set actually goes from 23rd of December to the 23rd of January. So actually I could have plotted this in a different way that makes it useful for the readers to see the data, right? But I didn't at the time because I didn't manage to. But hopefully now I can do that. So then I looked where was the earthquakes, and then you could see that the prevalent areas were around Gulf and Alaska. I actually did a kind of a longitudinal chart with all the points around the plot. I don't show it here. I don't know why I didn't show it, but I think it's because this one doesn't let you animate, and it's behind this chart actually here. I could see, so basically I plotted that in that, but actually I could have done better. I had a friend that what he did, he plotted in a actually proper map with all the plaques and with all the earthquakes, which are actually much better visualization than mine. So be a little bit more creative than I did and make something much more engaging and interesting. But yeah, I really enjoyed his chart, and it was very useful. So go have a look around, because there's better ways of showing this. But we found out that actually Alaska is near the intersection of two Great Plates, the Pacific Plate beneath the Pacific Ocean and the North American Plate, and that's why we have seen so many earthquakes in that area. And then we started to do some correlations. I mean, we didn't have time, and that was not the purpose of this exercise, but I just want to show you what we achieve. I mean, here you can't see almost anything, but there you go. So thank you, everyone. If this was useful for you to see what you can achieve within a few weeks of doing a data science bootcamp, click like, subscribe to my channel so I can grow and I can do more kind of projects like this. If you have any comments or insights on my work, feel free to comment below. I hope you enjoyed my video and that was useful for you. Take care and see you next time.